Welcome to the SST Talk, where we talk about all things space, science, and technology.
Here are the episodes for this podcast, so stay tuned. In the fourth episode, we'll take a closer look at remote sensing, uncovering how satellites observe Earth and how this technology helps in agriculture, climate studies, and environmental monitoring. Want to know how they see the world from above?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the pod. We're your hosts, Robert, Hera, and Trixie. And today we're hanging out with Robert, the author of today's paper on the application of remote sensing in rice paddy agriculture. So let's get into it.
So, for today's episode, it is all about a really exciting study. It is entitled Mapping Rice Paddy Areas in Nueva Ecija using Temporal Sentinel-1 Synthetic Aperture Radar Imagery. So, from satellites in space to rice paddies on the ground, this research really shows how technology is changing the way we look at agriculture here in the Philippines, right? And honestly, it's pretty cool. And it's really exciting kasi we'll be talking about it today with one of the authors of this paper. Let's welcome Mr. John Rovic Cueto.
Hello guys, I'm here.
Hello.
And hello. To start off with our questions and answers for please tell us what is your paper is about.
Okay, so our topic today is about the application of remote sensing, no, in how the satellite data can be used to analyze and understand our rice paddies or our rice, no. So in this topic, no, in my paper, we used the Sentinel-1 radar satellite. So this has an instrument, what do we call synthetic aperture radar, in which no it gathers data using microwave signals, no. So the satellite itself, it throws microwave wavelength to the ground, and then the ground itself sent back the wave, and the satellite will receive it, and then that time we will get and extract the features of analysis that we want, no. So in this study, so what we objective to do is to create, no, a precise rice paddy map, no, using the machine learning. And but still we may need to use a open source wherein the purpose is to make the codes to be able to replicate by other scientists or other peoples, no, something like that. So and then objective is to monitor the changes of the rice paddies on the current study areas, no, during the wet season planting. Yeah. So that's the main goal of the rice paddy. So you have any, specific want to know about?
What for our viewers, what do you think is remote sensing in layman's term?
Okay. Yeah. So remote sensing, it's like you're trying to sense, no, on something that you don't need to go there. For example,
Oh,
I want to take a view, no, of something that's a cloud. I want to view it from here to there. But my eyes only see the cloud, no. But I don't know what the cloud has. So, what we do is, no, we use, 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 we technology na meron tayo, no? So, this kind of technology, no, meron siyang capability na makuha at malaman yung characteristics ng isang ulap. For example, no? So meron siyang kakayahan alamin or para siyang yung sense ng tao. Halimbawa, kaya mong maamoy yung amoy ng isang bagay na hindi mo alam kung ano ba talaga yung itsura nung naaamoy mo na yon or something, no? Without having a stock knowledge of what the smell, no, ng isang pagkain. So parang it's like sensing, kaya siya tinawag na remote sensing. Nagsisense siya ng something na kahit tayo siya, nakukuha natin siya. So parang gano'n natin inilalarawan yung remote sensing, no, in a everyday application. Yan.
Alin naman ng remote sensing?
Yeah. That's why remote sensing is a very usable for the world, no? Not only for the Philippines, but it's a very, very useful to everyone, especially in the field of agriculture. No. You want to know more about this study, all about how we do it?
Pero
So, from what
may tanong si Robert dyan eh.
yeah, ayun, may question ako. So, from what you have said, since nga, the very essence of remote sensing is to use it for efficiency, how does this rice pad, the application of remote sensing in rice paddy classification is more efficient kaysa dun sa, sabihin na lang natin yung mga yung mga on the site na pagmamap. How is
Oo
this
nga.
more efficient?
Oh, yeah. So, in terms of efficiency, though we may consider different factors when we say the word efficiency. No? For example, in local mapping of rice, no, that was due an actual by the farmers, no, we will gather data sets from them. We will take pictures from them to know the current health and current transplantation of the rice. But it takes a lot of work, no, and time and money. So with that, at the current technology that we have, the remote sensing has inefficient in terms of understanding the time transplanting of the rice and the current density of the rice on a certain area without having excess manpower or too much money, no, we have
Right.
used there.
If
So
wala
since
nang other
satellite
further
data
questions,
is
I think
open
we can
source,
move
no,
forward
meaning
na
that
sa methodology,
everyone
right?
can have these images freely, no, globally. So as of us that we are developing countries, this is very helpful for us. So we scientists, no, we are trying to make a way, no, or create a method on how this remote sensing data can be efficient and be used by the people, no, especially here in the Philippines. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, so
curious.
okay. So in terms of the technicality of the paper itself, no. So what do we is that we have tried to create a new type of method on how can we use the machine learning algorithm for us to be able to classify and counts the numbers of areas and hectares of rice paddies on a certain areas where the rice is identified as located. So, yeah.
So since nga this is all remote sensing application, how can you say na yung method na ginamit nyo is 100% accurate na? Yung namamap nyo na gantong rice paddies sa gantong hectares, sa gantong lawak is accurate na yun nga yun talaga. Kasi since nga this is all satellite imagery, di ba?
Yeah. So, we may consider still the limitation of the computer technology itself, since the satellite image is made of pixels and the number of pixels is calculated by the computer itself by 0 to 1, and the machine learning model is based in its own algorithm, no? There may certain limitations in terms of accuracy. That's why we are using the statistical method to know the overall accuracy and the kappa coefficient of the method that we use. But we are not saying that the result of the output would be accurate as it is. So we may said that the measured numbers of hectares or tons of rice that could be possibly what do we call this, ani, kumbaga sa Tagalog na ani, is based on our estimate only.
So, dun sa tatlo
In
na yun,
layman terms
ano
is
yung
that
parang
the
naging basis nyo
was
sa
created
pagpili
for
ng
us to
methodology
predict
na yun, and also dun sa
what would
paghahambing sa
be the
tatlo na yun?
possible numbers of rice that could be produced by a certain area by knowing the current density of rice as of it's today.
So,
So that's the purpose of that.
Ravik, gumamit kayo ng iba't ibang machine learning models?
Yeah. So, in this, we have used at least three types of supervised classification models, no? Oh, yeah. So, in machine learning application or choosing of good algorithms, it still depends on the nature of the model itself, on how it behaves to the training data sets, no? So when we choose these models, no, we more rely on the related literature that we have read. So what are the most used model in terms of complexities of the training model? So since image is somehow too much complex, especially in terms of the datasets itself, and also the nature characteristics of the data itself. As we have mentioned earlier, that the satellite image was made of microwave or radar. So most of common model and algorithm that have been made was usable when the image is in a RGB color, or what we call have the red, green, and blue. But the radar image is only black and white. It creates a gap, no, to the current methods that they have used, which introduce noise and speckles dun sa image. So, before we train this model talaga or choose this model, we consider the changes of hyperparameters that what was used by this model. So, random forest, classification, regression, and gradient tree boosters are all related model to each other. Meaning, they have all the same similar one method of use. No? kumbaga sa kwan, lahat sila is part of supervise. They are all trying to understand the similarities of each pixels dun sa loob ng isang image. But they only have difference in terms of the hyperparameter it was used. But in the current year, when we publish the paper, this tree model is the most percentage of usable in terms of classification of images in other different application. So we have still need to consider when we are going to use and apply these kinds of methods, no? Yeah. You have question?
You've mentioned the satellite that you've utilized relies on radar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
wala pala tong optical data from satellite.
Yeah. The optical itself has also at certain limitations. There are in the time before we publish it, there are some papers that publishing it using Sentinel 1 and 2 where they are trying to combine optical but it's for validation, no, or cross validation. But there's also a limitation in terms of optical, especially when in terms of clouds, no. So we cannot remove the clouds, no. When the time that the satellite take images, we cannot also control the satellite itself when it was to take images because it's only relying on the orbit movement of the Earth. So we cannot stop that, no. So it's automatically taking images whatever the location has have. If it's cloudy or not, the optical itself will still take. Unlikely, the cloud itself can just not taken. Kumbaga sa kwan, the microwave itself, tumatago siya dun sa cloud itself. So, mas big advantage siya in terms of optical. Yeah.
So how about our co-host? May tanong pa ba kayo regarding sa method?
Wala akong tanong sa method, pero may tanong ako as a, parang general question. Kasi may experience ka na sa remote sensing, di ba? So, ano sa tingin mo yung parang shortest explanation kung bakit importante yung satellite sa Earth, sa life, sa loob ng Earth?
Oh yeah. So, for me, siguro I may give my own opinion, especially. So, satellite is important because it shows, I mean, in a political term, it can show power. No? It's not only that we are building it because we want to help people around the world, no, but technology can also be used for politics, no, not only for the application of remote sensing itself, but shows an advantage to the country when it was made. But yeah, because of the international law, all developing countries can be widely use these kinds of satellite data. So it's a very useful for many people around the world to use these kinds of datas. So it helped us in a many kinds of applications, especially in a climate change that is happening in our country. So with the use of satellite data, we will be able to monitor and analyze when it was to be the typhoon, for example. So it's also kind of a remote sensing application. So yeah, that's why the satellite data is very important in our current situation as up we have today.
So, may question ako. So, di ba yung research paper na to is parang to improve or parang mas ma-enhance yung agricultural practices sa country, di ba? So, paano mo makikita na magagamit siya ng mga local farmers ng bansa?
Tama.
Maybe there must need to shift on the question. No? We are not trying to, make agricultural practices. We're not trying to prove something in terms of agricultural practices. What we are trying to do is to create a something, what do we call, information from them. No? So kasi the transplantation itself, it's already there. The farmer itself already know when it was going to plant a rice, for example. We are also adapting those kind of transplanting method. But when we translate that kind of methodology into a computer application, we use it as a way of method for us to create uh, uh, the classification itself of the model. What I'm trying to say is that, as I mentioned earlier, the model itself really learns from different colors, especially the. But for us to make these colors, so we are using the transplantation time. Sabihin yung every 15 days of time for us to create colors. So these primary colors give us the special palette for us to identify when and where the identified rice is present and what specific transplanting it was na. For example, if this plant ba is in a way of watering, which yung pinapatubigan pa lang siya, or what do we call this?
Parang
Vegetative.
parang nakikita na yung cycle, ganun, kahit hindi
Yeah.
on site.
Yeah, it gives us also for us to understand the current state of that rice. We are not only trying to classify how much the density of rice from a certain area, but we also trying to understand the nature of the rice in imagination or assuming or estimation the current state of the plant itself based on the signature that we extracted from the image. So we can say some of rices from that area can be in a seedling or in a generative time or maybe in a ripening time because that agricultural practices, many farmers have different kind and way or method of their agricultural practices. So we may also need to consider that kind of practices for us to maintain that the flow of the method itself not really excising the bias of the method itself. So we also consider that kind of limitations no for the model itself. Yan. Do you have any question?
Itong paper na 'to, beneficial siya sa mga farmers, tama ba?
Well, I could say that this paper is not really meant naman to be put from the mind of the farmers itself. I'm not saying that farmers cannot really understand what we are trying to say, but considering the traditional and cultural way of how the farmers planting their rice, no. So we also conduct a study together with the study or trying to share the knowledge of the kind of use of technology to the farmers. But na, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them, no, may still not believe, no, on the use of the current technology that we have made, no, because they think
Yeah,
the most
tama.
usable way for them pa rin is yung the way of traditional that they are using.
Oo, kasi experience na rin sila eh.
Yeah. So we can do about this topic is we can share this to the technical people such as the LGUs, the Department of Agricultures who are leading in terms of agriculture. So they are the one who will be specifically benefited from this. That's why they coordinate for us to make this paper be published. So they are the one who will be going to benefit from this kind of uh, application, and they are the one who will going to utilize, no, this kind of approach to the farmers because they have the capabilities, no, to implement it by the support of the government.
So sa tingin mo ba in terms sa urban planning, may parang tulong din yung remote sensing dun or what?
Yeah, it's a very important also, no, sensing, especially optical, no, because we may able to estimate, no, the changes of the land covers, or like say the numbers or density of buildings or impervious in the current location or what location specifically. So with that, we gathered information. So the LGU itself and the environmental and urban planning can have, you know, this information and can create proposals and regulations and laws on how will they going to maximize and ensure that the urban dense or the use of proper is implemented very, you know, wise, something like that. So yeah, it's really usable for them.
Dun sa study niyo, balik tayo. 'Di ba yung nag-remote sensing kayo, yung, product ng remote sensing na yun, vinalidate niyo sa pamamagitan ng pagpunta dun sa place, tama ba?
Yes. So we have chose one municipalities that the LGU has given for us a permit to visit. So that's also a part of, you know, scientific validation. We may need a permit for us to visit a certain rice planting. And then yeah, we extracted, you know, pixels, then gathered its coordinates, and then take pictures of that specific area for us to validate that that area prove that it has a rice paddies since 2000. So the basis is it must be from year 2000s at year. So we have asked interview questions to the farmers there if the area is rice planting since the 20th centuries. Something like that.
Oh, ang galing. Sa tingin mo kaya may mga common errors din sa remote sensing kapag na like nagkakaroon ng analysis or what? Ano kaya yung mga common source of errors or like uncertainty?
Yeah. So there's so somehow kind of a number in terms of errors, especially in the numbers of the validations that we have taken. So as we know, still the validation itself is really accurate if it was taken from the ground. But you know, for us to make this study or estimation be really very accurate, so we may need to gather at least thousands of validations from the grounds. So, but at least with the it differs from the scope of the area of the study location. So, remote sensing can gather information in a wide kilometer area. It can be around 250 to 185 kilometer in a one satellite image. But in reality, if it was in the validation of that area, we can only gather information of around every meter. And that's a very, very vast information of data sets. So that's why we are using this kind of technology in terms of estimation. So we are not really saying it's really
Tama.
accurate and be usable, but it can be used somehow, no? For us to give information. So we estimate.
Yeah. Ayun nga. Ano yung parang sa tingin mo para sa'yo, yung next step na pwedeng ipagpatuloy ng research paper na 'to?
So maybe in our it could be able to be good if the government itself will utilize to use this kind of approach. And in terms of utilization is for them to give informations to the farmers, no? They will be able to implement and utilize this kind of technologies and this kind of information so that farmers can have an idea and knowledge
Mhm.
of the current technology that we have as of today, that they can also be something like that, you know? So yeah.
Parang I think yun nga sabi mo, I think magsi-stick talaga sila sa traditional methods nila. Pero maganda na may bagong information. So,
True. So, ang hirap pala nito.
Yeah. So that's
Masasabi
the really hard part of reality that we are trying to create a way to solve, no, the utilization of this kind of knowledge to the people on the ground. So we are the government itself. We are also seeking help from them to implement and
yan.
utilize the information to them.
Question ako dun sa sinabi mo. So, kung makakausap natin yung mga lawmakers natin, gobyerno, ano sa tingin mo yung piece of advice na mabibigay mo sa kanila about remote sensing?
And for me, it myself, no, siguro what I would say is that the government itself must continue its budget, no, to the utilization of use of remote sensing applications in our country. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I mean uh remote sensing can be used to integrate to the other application before they make a law.
gastos no?
Scientific knowledge. So with this information, this technical information, maybe when they budget it, so it can help, no, the people for them to make improve the agricultural sectors. So So rather than making, lost or out of nowhere information without scientific basis, maybe that's thing that we can recommend from them is to
Yes,
support
yes.
this kind of studies and application.
So yun,
So yun, uh, before tayo mag-wrap up, so baka may other questions pa yung co-host natin. So ako, may
Tama.
question din ako. So, before
go.
tapusin yung episode ng podcast natin, baka may mga listeners tayo dyan. So, ano yung parang masasabi mo or parang pinaka-importanting key takeaway na gusto mong maalala ng mga viewers natin or listeners?
Yeah, so the most important key takeaways lang naman dito is that for the people and audience to appreciate the use of technology.
Tama.
The application of remote sensing is a very important as with today. It's a very important key takeaways for them that technology is not always there. It's create for us to help the people or us. It, something like that.
So, yun. Perfect naman. How about yung other co-host natin? Baka may questions pa sila.
Perfect naman. Yun lang.
I got no questions now on my end.
So, at ayun, since wala nang other further questions, dito na magtatapos ang ating episode about remote sensing. So, pinag-usapan natin ngayon yung research paper entitled Mapping Rice Paddy Areas in Nueva Ecija Using Temporal Sentinel-1 SAR imagery. So, ayun. So, makikita natin na hindi lang ito tungkol dun sa data or satellites, kundi kung paano nagiging mas matalino or efficient ang paggamit ng mga agricultural practices here in the Philippines, right? So, napakagandang pag-aralan ng ang teknolohiyang ito kasi mas mapapalapit tayo sa science and sa mga mapapalapit ang science sa mga magsasaka, sa LGU, sa mga normal na mamamayan, di ba? So, maraming salamat sa pakikinig. At tayo ay mag-wrap up na ng ating episode.
The SST Talk. Thanks for listening and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye! Uy,
I'm perfect.
Oh my god, we really just zoomed out and looked at Earth from above. And honestly, the perspective changes everything. Remote sensing helps us understand our planet in ways we never could from the ground. Wow. So thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode for another deep dive into space science.